Hallo und herzlich willkommen zu einer weiteren Episode Danganronpa. Und ja, wir sollen in die Gym kommen, weil vermutlich es die nächste Motivation gibt. Ich bin gespannt, was es sein wird. Und ja. Ich nutze meine krassen Teleportationsskills zur Gym. Die Gym ist so ein extra Raum, ne? Oh, Sakura, ich wollte extra noch mit dir gestern reden. You are the last one, everyone else is already inside. Aren't you gonna go in?
However,
I have a bad feeling about this. More than just a feeling, probably Montgomery did call us all together after all. Sakura, Makoto, if something happens to me, Hina...
I'm sorry.
No, never mind. Who would ever believe in someone who doesn't believe in themselves? Everyone must have heard the announcement, and once we're all gathered at the gym, it began. Okay, neues Announcement. Also neue Motivation. Okay, let's get this show on the road. You're about to give us our next motive presentation, aren't you? Hmm?
That's right.
You got us all together to present another motive, right? Is he right?
Huh?
You have to go through this again. I can't take this anymore. I'm impressed by your level of dismay. You finally see just how low on the totem pole of life you really are. No. That's not at all. We're not here to talk about motive. The reason I gathered you are here is so that I could get rid of my grudge. Your grudge?
Why?
We have a grudge against you, of course, but I don't recall you ever having grudge against us. I told you yesterday, didn't I? An eye for an eye, a fang for a fang. Stop beating around the bush. Just tell us what you're talking about. Well, Buikuya, you've already told everyone how one of you might be working as my spy for me, right? Yeah, so what about it? Well, today I would like to tell you about that spy. What? So guess what? The spy is actually Sakura. He said it so openly it made it sound like it wasn't that big of a deal, even though he just revealed a huge secret. What did you say? You said the spy is Sakura. What are you talking about? There's no way Sakura is a spy, right, Sakura? Sakura? And I might just make Sakura fulfill the promise she made sometime soon. And if she doesn't, I can't be responsible for what might happen to that hostage of mine. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. What you guys chose to do with that information is up to you. Roast her, build her, kill her, don't kill her, whatever. Either way, I can't wait. And just like that, he was gone. Finally, I understood what he had been talking about. Eye for an eye and fang for a fang. In other words, betrayal would be met with betrayal. So what does this mean? Is it true? Has Oga really been spying on us for the mastermind? What are you saying? There's no way. But that is what the stuffed animal said, right? Well, he's wrong. There's just no way. Well, Sakura, if he's wrong, all you have to do is tell us. I'm sorry I didn't tell you earlier. What? Then he was being serious for serious? Oga has been working for the mastermind? I'm sorry. So you've been lying to us all this time? It's not true, Sakura was probably being controlled. There's gotta be some reason. She didn't have a choice, she was just forced to do it. Yeah, I'm sure Hina's right. The mastermind probably threatened her somehow, and Sakura had no choice but to do what she was told. What? You're talking like you know that for a fact, because I do know it for a fact, because I saw it. I saw Sakura and Monokuma fighting. And that's why I heard it. Monokuma mentioned a hostage a second ago, right? And during that fight, I heard Sakura say she decided to fight against the mastermind.
I see.
You saw all that? The mastermind took a hostage, so you were forced to swear loyalty to them, right? But in the end, you made up your mind to betray the mastermind, which means Sakura isn't our enemy. She's a friend who can we trust without a question. Is that it? Ridiculous. Do you live in some sort of alternate reality fairy tale?
Not possible.
She was the mastermind's tool. You absolutely cannot trust someone like that.
Impossible.
She's right. We can't just believe whatever she said now. How can we even be sure she really did betray the mastermind? Maybe this is a double bluff and she's still doing exactly what the mastermind wants.
What are you saying?
Sakura would never do that. Okay, then Sakura, if you really have cut ties with the mastermind, tell us who they really are. Well, sorry, I can't. Even I don't know that.
What?
You don't know? That just makes you all the more suspicious.
Please.
She's telling the truth. You have to believe her.
Don't make me repeat.
Shut up, I'm not finished questioning her.
Come on.
Next question. What is about a promise? Where did the mastermind order you? I was told to kill one of my friends. I suddenly felt like the temperature in the room had dropped 20 degrees. The weight of those words. I see, so even now you've taken aim on our lives.
Wrong.
You're wrong, I'm telling you, Sakura would never do that. You don't have to yell. We can hear you just fine. Don't you have an inside voice?
Terrible.
Because you're not listening to me.
Wait.
Please stop. You don't need to defend me anymore. I have to take full responsibility for this.
However,
How do you intend to do that? By destroying the mastermind. I'm going to challenge them. Even if it means we both go down, I will defeat them.
I'm sorry.
That's how I intend to take my responsibility. Hold on. What do you mean if you go both down?
Hina,
Hina, I'm sorry I didn't tell you about this. What?
I'm sorry.
I didn't know what to do. I went back and forth about confiding in you again and again, but I was scared. I thought if I told you, you might think less of me. Sakura,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Sakura turned away from us and left the gym, and then... Nighttime?
This is a school announcement. As such, it is officially nighttime. Soon the doors to the dining hall will be locked, and entry at that point is strictly prohibited. Okay then. Sweet dreams, everyone. Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite.
Well, it's nighttime. We should all go to bed.
no way.
Hold on, the whole thing with Sakura is
Don't make me repeat
over.
myself.
She's our enemy. There's nothing more to discuss.
Terrible.
No, Sakura is not our enemy.
Why?
Why doesn't anyone understand her?
What?
What is it you think you understand? You didn't even know who she really was.
What is this? Calm down.
Let it go for now, Hina. Talking about it isn't going to help anything. But
Anyway,
go to your room, calm down, and we can continue this discussion tomorrow. Oof. It was the worst. The mood at the end of the night was just the worst. Being in such an awful mood, we were honestly glad the day was over. Oh nein, das wird ein mega komplizierter Fall, der nächste. Sakura is the spy, she's the traitor. Byakuya said Sakura is the enemy. But he's wrong, she's not my enemy, she's my friend without a doubt. But what can I do? What can I do to make everyone believe in Sakura? How? As long as you're human, there will always come a point where you wish you could do things differently. Even a baseball player in the major leagues, even a soccer player touring Euro, even a famous singer who started her career as a backup dancer on a sketch comedy show. She makes a brilliant debut, but instead of going for more, she marries some third-rate actor and retires. Every human has regrets, has things they would like to go back and change. But I don't.
Good morning, everyone. It is now 7 p.m. and nighttime is officially over. Get ready to greet another beautiful day.
I'm worried about Sakura. I need to hurry up and get to the dining hall. Mal gucken, was passiert ist. Oh, Buddy Discovery Announcement, bitte plain. Es wäre ja cool, wenn das mal passieren würde. Oh Mann, ich kann nicht, Kyoko, good morning. Wow, still ignoring me. Is she really that mad at me? But actually, it's not just Kyoko. Ever since Monokuma summoned us last night, the atmosphere around here has gotten really heavy. I can almost feel it looming over us. Right now it's down. Well, nothing else. I need to patch things up with Kyoko as soon as possible. Jetzt kannst du ihr erzählen, was du sagen wolltest. Makoto, are you okay? Huh? What do you mean? You were late, so we're worried about you. What did Dolodge? Tokubi Okoi, what are you doing here? They are taking refugee here. Refugee? Don't make that stupid face. We have to protect ourselves against the Mastermind's tool. The Masterminds are talking about Sakura? That's when I finally noticed. The only one that wasn't in the dining hall was Sakura. Where is Sakura?
Stop talking.
All I know is if she were here, I wouldn't be. The only reason I went out of my way to join the rest of you was a safeguard against that threat.
What is this?
Why would you hate her so much? Isn't it obvious because this makes things unfair? The game should be fair to all players. The existence of a spy for the mastermind upsets the balance. That's a stupid reason. Stupid? This is a life or death game, is it not?
That's terrible.
It is stupid. You're a stupid idiot.
Hey,
Before you get far into your argument, maybe you should stop and think things through. Why did the mastermind reveal Sakura was the spy to us? They were getting revenge on her, right? Like Monokuma said, an eye for an eye.
however,
That may be part of it, but it's not the whole picture. Revealing that fact was also meant to serve as the next motive the mastermind wanted to give us. The chaos and confusion born from suspicion, the hatred. In other words, this right here, the fighting, the bickering, is the trap the mastermind laid for us. Knowing that, will you still stand here and argue like children?
but
That's not what I'm trying to do. I mean, how can I get you guys to believe in Sakura again? If she really can beat the mastermind like she said, that would go a long way in my mind.
what are you saying?
Would really ask her to do something so dangerous? What if something terrible happens to her? It wouldn't matter. What? If Sakura were to die, that's one less person for the mastermind to control. I have no problem with that. In fact, if she did die, that would settle this entire issue, wouldn't it? It would put the whole problem to rest. Oof.
What the hell?
Oh yeah, was ein Thumbnail.
You disgust me. You're a monster. To say something like that, it should have been you. You should have been the one to die.
What?
I should have died? Interesting. Then you're planning to take care of that yourself? Go ahead, try it if you dare. That's how it works after all.
What is this?
You think I can't do it?
That's right.
This is exactly what the mastermind wants, and it's exactly what Sakura doesn't want. What's wrong? Lost your nerve? I'm leaving. I'll be in my room. Trembling with anger, Yuna ran off. That stupid cow, how dare she could die 1,000 deaths. No, 1,000,000. So she was just another hysterical little girl, hardly worth my attention.
Just a second.
It's what other people call having feelings, Byakuya, and all you can do is mock them for it. What's wrong with that?
Hey,
A friendly word of warning. Someday the attitude is going to come back and bite you
I
hard.
don't have time to play with you.
And I will happily elude its attempts. So, you know, how about we eat? Or maybe now it's not a good time.
No?
Without a word, each of us left the dining hall. We headed back to our rooms, one by one. Free time! Boah, wenn jetzt die Musik kommt, ne? Pew! So, what should I do today? Mal mit Kyoko reden? Oder ist jetzt... Stell dir vor, du kannst jetzt einfach... Moment, wer ist alles in seinem Raum? Ist überhaupt irgendwer irgendwas am Machen? Okay, die sind alle anscheinend... Okay, ich muss auf jeden Fall mit Kyoko erstmal reden. Weil... Genau, ich muss ja ihr eigentlich sagen, dass... Was ich ihr eigentlich ja sagen wollte, jetzt revealed wurde.
Anyway,
I'm busy, I don't have time to waste.
anyway.
Ich versuche Infos über Sakura zu behalten.
I'm sorry.
I'm not sure I'm ready to open up just yet. Maybe if you create the right opportunity.
I see.
Even if I don't feel like talking, you still stand by me? I still don't understand you, Makoto. Without saying a word, I stood by Sakura. Sakura and I grew a little closer today. I would like to give... Ich meine, Aoi mochte es. You're giving this to me? I see, that's very nice of you. Does that mean she liked it? Okay. I have plenty of time. I don't feel like just sitting around here. I should go somewhere. Okay. Ich würde hier gerne mit Kyoko reden. Oh, hast du vielleicht irgendwas herausgefunden mit... Moment, war ich ja nicht gerade schon? Wow. Ich würde gerne aufklären, was es mit den ganzen Sachen auf sich hat. Hast du irgendwas Neues mit Alter Ego? Go away. She won't even look at me. I guess she doesn't even want to see my face. Mann, die ganze gute Beziehung, die ich aufgebaut habe. Es gibt so wenig Leute, mit denen ich irgendwas machen kann. Ach komm, ich mach mit. Moment, die sind beide in dem Raum.
Sorry.
Listen, I'm really sorry, but I kinda wanna be alone right now. Got a lot of things I need to think about.
I'm sorry.
I appreciate the thought, but I like to be alone right now. I need time to myself. I need to think, although that's one skill I haven't developed much. Ist depressiv. Oh, der Spirit-Typ fuckt so ab. Oh, ich hätte niemals gedacht, dass ich was machen werde. Was geht ab? Sakura and Hina. Finally, some action. Things are starting to become interesting. Oh, I didn't see you standing there. Do you need something? Was macht der denn so?
That's fine.
Fine, I don't mind allowing you to indulge in my attention. I hope you appreciate this. I spent some time with Byakuya. Was macht er denn so? We couldn't grow a little closer today. Was könnte der denn gebrauchen? Könnte so ein Radio für den interessant sein? Komm, du bist doch so ein alter...
This is...
You bastard, how did you get your hands on this? Even the collective force is the entire Sogami Corporation wouldn't be enough to obtain this gem.
Naturally.
I'm going to hold on to this. Okay. I have a question for you.
That's right.
Something's been bothering me for a while now and I can't take it anymore. So to answer my question, I need you to explain to me what exactly your Ultimate Lucky Student title means. Well, I don't totally get it myself, but what I do know is that I was picked at random from a pool of normal students.
In other words,
So you just got into Hopespeak by blind luck. I see, well, that answers my question. What was the question? How a commoner like you, with absolutely no unique talents or abilities, could get into the school? Oh, I forgot to mention boring. How boring, untalented, utterly generic commoner got into... Boring, Janet? Did you really have to list all of that off? But it's the truth. Maybe compared to you, the ultimate affluent progeny and all. But even I... You seem to think it's merely an issue of title, but make no mistake. My lineage, intelligent figure, athletic ability, they are all ultimate.
in other words,
Which is to say, I am the ultimate perfection. Feel free to begin calling me that, in fact. Okay, alles klar. You know, I have nothing. You who have nothing. I who have everything. We are living proof that all men are not created equal. You have my pity, Makoto. Life can be cruel, indeed. And because I pity you so much, perhaps someday I will allow you to hear my tale of glory. Consider it a blessing, a gift from me to you, to allow you to bask in my glory. I learned one thing about Byakuya today. Kein Ehrenmann. Anytime I talk to him, I need to be prepared for extreme psychological trauma. Okay. I did my best to keep my spirit from shattering like glasses and went back to my room. Geht die Musik runter? Ja, dann ist es Nighttime und wir gehen alle jetzt pennen. Oh mein Gott, ich lese es wie ein Buch.
This is a school announcement. As such, it is officially nighttime. Soon the doors to the dining hall will be locked, and entry at that point is strictly prohibited. Okay then. Sweet dreams, everyone. Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bug bite.
Nighttime already. Tonight feels somehow uneasy. We still haven't settled things with Sakura. Everyone's in a terrible mood. I just hope nothing happens tonight. Cup. Oh! After I've declined the offer to become a shrimp, the tech support lady just refused to drop the issue. Once the shrimp idea was dead, she came back suggesting I should become a crab instead. How much can one person love crossed scenes? I said no, of course, and she shot back. Okay, then how about to make you extra special, you can be a crab that walks sideways and backwards. But how's that any better? I don't want to go sideways or backwards, I want to go forward. I heard her annoyed sigh on the other end of the line. Then she said, you just don't see the splendor of the crab. Haven't you ever heard of the tale of the crab and the monkey? Of course I've heard of it. I know all about it, but so what? The crab beats the monkey. But it's just some legend, hardly relevant to our greed-obese modern society. Sure, monkeys still show up in movies and stuff from time to time, but not crabs. Time-themed clothes are sweeping the fashion world, but the crab doesn't stand a chance, right? What I'm saying is crabs have no place in today's light-speed world. Do your markets research, lady, which is why I chose the always popular bear image.
And that's the secret origin story of Monokuma.
Ich find's interessant, dass das, was der sagt, mega auf irgendwelche Sachen in Real Life gebracht werden können. Zum Beispiel jemand, oder man versucht ja halt, also das ist jetzt zum Beispiel wie so bei einem Job, ne? Also man versucht ja ein besseres Angebot zu machen, aber eigentlich ist es kein besseres Angebot. Zum Beispiel wirst du nehmen wir an, du arbeitest in einer Firma als, keine Ahnung, IT-Guy, so. Und auf einmal heißt es, okay, Richtig gut, Facility Manager, das ist die Zukunft bei unserer guten Firma, ja. Facility Manager ist fucking Hausmeister. Aber ein schönes Wort, man versucht es dir besser zu verkaufen und alles. Und du, letztlich gewinnst du nichts. Und das, was du eigentlich machen willst, kannst du nicht machen. Weil man dir zum Beispiel nicht vertraut oder wenn man dich nicht weiterbringen möchte. Ich finde es interessant und eigentlich cool, wie sie es machen. Ja, Body has been discovered. Okay. Ich warte immer noch drauf, dass ich mal nicht der Erste bin, der es entdeckt.
Time to rise and shine. Get ready to greet another beautiful day.
Oh yeah. I need to do something about Sakura. I better go to the dining hall and talk to the others about one more time. Ooh-ah. Huh? Was that someone screaming? I think it came from the dining hall. Oh yeah! Nächster Mord, das wäre ulkig. Makoto, we got a big problem, man. What's wrong? Look. Hiro's finger shook as he pointed. Hina.
Are you okay? What happened? She killed her. Genocide Jill killed Hina.
Nein.
You gotta be kidding!
No, she's not dead. Open your eyes. No way she's dead. Why? What happened? Took and Hina. Just all of a sudden they were laying and then she knocked the pepper off the table. And that led to a sneeze? Her giant balloons are a little too perfect, aren't they? I might be flat, but at least mine are real. Look at my shapely collarbone, doesn't it just totally set you on fire? Anyway, you totally know adorable boys, just get her out of my sight, right? Or else I will start cutting and cutting and cutting and dulling myself for who knows long. Okay then, let's get Hina to the nurse office. Come on, Hiro, help me. Then subject abrasive laugh chased us out of the room as we carried Hina away. By the time I finished taking care of Hina's injury in the nurse office, she seemed to have finally regained her composure.
Sorry.
Thank you. Are you sure you're feeling better? Yeah. It really was just a scratch. But still, that was super close. If I hadn't yelled out, you would be dead right now. It's all thanks to me, you know? Yes, well, 1,000 thanks to you, sir. So sarcastic. That just makes you sound even more hostile. Doesn't? Hey, Hina, what the heck happened? We just got into a fight. Ooh. Let me guess, the fight was because of Sakura. At first I tried to just ignore it. If you let jerk buttholes get to you all the time, you'll never have time left to live your life. But she wouldn't let it go, so I just... Without thinking about it, I felt like I wanted to punch her like a dozenth time.
Serious?
A dozen punches isn't really without thinking. And when things got out of hand, Jack got let loose, right?
Sorry.
It's my fault. I just couldn't take it anymore because she was saying all these terrible things about my friend, you know. Before I knew it, Hina's eyes started welling up tears. And just as the tears were on the brink of spilling over, the doors to the nurse office burst open. I thought the door was gonna fly off its hinges. And there she stood before us. Hina. Sakura? You're hurt. What happened? Nothing. It's not a big deal. Makoto, Hiro. What's the meaning of this? It wasn't me. It was Genocide Jill. It's all that demented murderous fiends. Oof. To hurt Hina, damn you. To leave me alone. But hurt her. What is this? What is this? I'm okay, really. It's just a scratch.
No forgiveness! I can't forgive this!
Hiro, if you want to hate someone, hate me. If you want to hurt someone, hate me. I don't hate you, exactly.
I can't forgive this!
Somebody save me. Hiro nearly tripped over himself as he ran screaming out of the nurse office, but just a second later, what's going on? What's all this noise about? Kyoko stood in the doorway to the nurse office, taking Hiro's spot in the room.
It would seem...
I gather that something happened. Kyoko, please, you have to stop Sakura.
Wait.
You don't need to stop me. I'm okay. I'm not going to do anything. I'm drawing a line right here and now. Drawing a line.
Bye.
Wait, Sakura. Hina sprang into action, leaving the nurse office to chase after Sakura. The only ones left were... Haha! Kyoko? Are you still mad? Yeah, I figured.
That's fine.
It's fine. Huh? About that issue we discussed earlier, it doesn't matter anymore. Then, do you forgive me for not being able to talk about it?
In other words...
You could have told me about Sakura and Monokuma fighting, but you stayed quiet. You were only thinking of Sakura, and that's why you didn't tell me, right? You didn't want to confuse everyone until you could talk to her and be sure of what you saw. That's what you were thinking, and that's why you didn't tell me, right? Yes. To think like that.
I wouldn't have
expected
expected
such
such arrogance from you.
Oof. What?
Because...
Ultimately, that means you don't trust me. No, that's not it. But if that's how you feel, I can't really change your mind. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
It's fine. I've already forgotten about it. Besides,
And
I might have overreacted. Huh? Anyway, it's over and done with. Like I said, let's just forget about it. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Okay. What does he want to talk to me about? Actually, I would like you to come somewhere with me. I have business there.
So...
Where? Just come with me and I will find out. I guess.
Shall
But
we go?
well then, shall we get going? With her typical indifference, Kyoko turned and walked away, setting a brisk pace. Ah, Kyoko. I hurried up to catch her. She walked ahead in silence, and in silence I chased her, and eventually we arrived. Boah, jedes Mal, wenn diese Szene kommt, erwarte ich, dass jetzt gleich the dressing room. Irgend so eine Mörderszene kommt. So there's something else you mentioned.
Indeed.
That's right, it has to do with alter ego, but you said we didn't need alter ego anymore. Wrong. I didn't say we didn't need him, I just said he done his job. Besides, it's not us that needs alter ego, he has business with us, huh?
Right.
Alter ego asked me to bring others to come see him. Apparently he has something he wants to ask us. Hello. So it's just the two of you, Kyoko and Makoto, right? Kyoko's fingers glided across the keyboard. Is two not enough? No, it's okay, two should be plenty. But what is it he wants to ask us? Let's find out, shall we? Kyoto typed in the question. What do you want to ask us? Yeah, so I would like you to take me somewhere where you can connect me to the school network.
What?
What? Kyoko and I quickly glanced at each other. She replied, why? Well, you said my job was done, right? But to just stop here saying I've finished my work, I don't want that. I want to keep being helpful to everyone. I want to work as hard as everyone else so that we can get all of here. That's what Master would want too. So to help everyone else to solve the mystery of the school, the only way I can help is if you connect me to this school's network. But if you did that, that's basically suicide. I'm positive the mastermind would find about it. They would find you and then they would... You agree? I realize how dangerous it could be, but still I have to do this. I'm scared, but I can't handle it. I don't really understand why, but when I think about it, everyone else, my courage starts to grow. You might think I'm just some inhuman A, but it's true, so it's okay. If it's for the sake of everyone else, I won't be afraid. I couldn't help but get lost in that voice. It was just too committed, too admirable, too fragile. You remember what you asked before, Makoto? You asked what the difference is between a person and a program, right? Yes.
Certainly.
When I talk to Alter Ego, I don't know. I have no idea how to answer that question. I think maybe that's a question even the program's creator can answer. But I can say this.
Correct.
There's no question that Alter Ego is our friend.
I...
To be honest, I didn't want Alter Ego to push himself anymore because If we take any more risks, the mastermind really will notice it. But
Makoto.
let's do it, Makoto. Let's connect Otegu to the network. But
Hey,
he's our friend, so I want to take his feelings into consideration. And he says that he wants to fight alongside his friends.
now.
If you were in his place, could you just sit by and do nothing in this situation? If you saw everyone else fighting and doing their best, could you just look to the other way? Or would you just stand up? Stand tall next to everyone else and tell them you are their friend? Hey, are you guys fighting? If it's about me, please don't. Okay, I want to believe in myself. I want to be able to say, I know I can do this. So please let me try.
Listen,
And besides, there's no place where the mastermind might not notice.
that's right.
Remember, there's another place besides where there's no surveillance camera. Secret room. I definitely remember there was no surveillance camera in there.
Indeed.
And I do believe you can connect to the network from there. I remember seeing an Ethernet port on the wall. Nice. However, just because there's no camera there doesn't mean there's no danger. There's no way to be sure the mastermind is monitoring the network somehow. We'll have to move alter ego and the mastermind may spot us going into the secret room. If they pick up on any of this, then it's all over. You're right.
That's what we have to
But
do.
despite all that, I still think we need to
Correct.
try, because that's our best chance of finding a new clues. Kyoko, in that case, will you let me carry him? There's no way you could hide him with that you're wearing, right? So let me do it.
It's true.
Okay then, I will leave it to you. Thank you.
So then,
Then let's get started. It's gonna be a little cramped for you, Otegu. Bear with us, okay? We started picking it up. I closed the laptop and stuffed it underneath my jacket. You can't. We are going to move you to another room. Until we get there, you have to be absolutely silent, okay? Understood. Your comment has been implemented. Good. To have him react like a machine like that all of a sudden, I didn't know how to react.
Makoto,
The secret room, there are a bunch of different cables in one of the desk drawers, so there might be a network cable in there.
however,
Assuming the mastermind hasn't taken it already. Well, all we can do is go and check for
it's
ourselves.
true.
Agreed. Let's head to the secret room. War das auf der Etage?
Just a second. Hey,
Ups. War das hier? Auf der zweiten Etage? Nee. Die waren andersfarbig. Oder?
just a second. Hey,
Okay. Ah, okay, das Ausrufezeichen, ich verstehe.
hey,
Hey, Makoto,
why?
are you sure all the documents are gone? I refuse to believe you. Go and check again. What?
Listen to me.
Just hurry up and go. And to make sure you don't run off, I'm gonna wait here, right here. Oh, I get it. She's acting. She was so forceful, I thought she met again somehow.
Just a second.
Why are you just standing there? Hurry up and go. Okay, I'm going.
So then,
And be throughout, I'm counting on you. I need to head to the secret room. Okay, first we have to find a network cable. Siehst da drin. According to Kyoko, there should be a bunch of cables in this drawer. Das sieht gut aus. Found it. This is network cable, right? Now we just have to connect alter ego. Put out the laptop and connect it to the Ethernet port with the cable. And that should do it. Yeah, I think it worked. Just leave it the rest to me. I swear I will find something. I might even be able to connect to the outside world. If I can, I will see if I can call for help. So please just wait a little while longer. Just hold tight and put your faith in me. As I was about to leave, I decided to leave him with one last thing. No matter what, we're gonna get out of here. You and all the rest of us as friends. Friends? Even me? Thank you. Thank you, Makoto.
Makoto.
How did it go? Well, it went okay, but all the documents were gone, just like I told you. My plan was an intentional mix of acting and real feelings.
Correct.
I see. Then there's nothing left for us here. Goodbye. Before I knew it, Kyoko was walking away. She wasn't acting anymore, that much was for sure. Ah, Kyoko?
What?
Yes. So we are just gonna split up?
Why is that?
Of course, I have no reason to stay with you at this point. Well, maybe, but isn't that a little too direct? Should I hesitate and fumble for something to say? You're so high maintenance. That's not what I meant. I just had more I wanted to talk to you about, like, what are you going to do about Sakura?
It's true.
Well, something has to be done, it's true.
However,
But the way things are right now, there's no way to pursue it anyone. They don't have the mind to listen. Then what shall we?
so
If we can find some new clue that we would likely change the situation, that's all we can hope for right now. Which is why alter
Correct.
ego. All we can do is wait and believe in our friends. You're right. That's our only option. We parted the ways and headed back to my room. Free time! Bitter. I'm kinda tired, so I laid down in my bed. Maybe it was because of the stress of moving alter ego, but I was way more tired than I realized, so before long at all. I had completely dozed off. Huh? The sharp sound of the doorbell pierced my sleep as it pulled me back to the real world. Rato, Makoto, get out here. Kyoko, what's going on? Hina just came to see me and she was white as a ghost. It sounded like something happened. What? As soon as I heard those words, my heart started to beat a little faster. I suddenly found myself wide awake. She said for us to come to the rec room. The rec room? Okay, then let's hurry. Lass mal reden. Makoto, Kyoko, what's wrong? Something's not right in the rec room. What's inside? There was a window on the rec room door, and I hurried to look inside. And when I did... Sakura? Is she unconscious? No? She's sitting up in the chair like she's bowing her head.
hey,
What's going on? Did something happen to her? I was just walking past and I hadn't to notice her throughout the window, but I couldn't get the door open. I tried knocking and tried calling her name, but she wouldn't respond. So what shall we do? What are we gonna do?
anyway,
First of all, we need to get into that room. But the door's locked, right? And if we break in, we'll be violating school regulations. We're going to force our way in. I just said, the door isn't locked. It's not locked because the rec room doesn't have a lock. Then why? It feels like the door is pressing up against something inside the room. Is it the chair?
in other words,
Either way, the door isn't locked, which means as far as I can tell the rule doesn't apply. Then there's no problem if we break in. Let's smash the window, that should be the fastest way. Okay, I'll go get something to break with that. Inside the rec room, Sakura still hadn't moved an inch. She just unconscious, right? Is she okay? I mean, it's Sakura, so I'm not sure. Kyoko didn't reply. There was only silence, but that silence didn't last long. Here. A broom.
Makoto,
Das ist ein Besen, ne? You can handle this, right? Come on, please hurry. Okay, you two, stand back. I took hold of the broom and swung as hard as I could, aiming directly at the window. All it took was one solid hit. The window scattered into 100 pieces, scattering across the rec room floor. I stuck my head through now open window and started jostling the chair leaning against the door. The chair's pretty heavy, but if I can just push it with all my strength, I finally knocked her in. I ran up to her as fast as I could, but the moment I laid my hand on her, all I felt was cold death. I could feel only the last lingering warmth of a living body. Life had abandoned Sakura's body, and then
After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin. Danganronpa.
Oh! Oof!
Huh? Sakura's dead? She's really dead?
I heard you not talking, but my eyes started steady forward. I could only look on at Sakura's dead body. We didn't make it in time. It's happened again. Muttering to herself, Kyoko began to gently inspect Sakura's body. I wondered, was she confirming that Sakura really was dead, checking for a pulse or erection? I have to go get them. I have to get the others. On shaky legs, Hina left the rec room, and why did this happen? That's all I could say. I repeat it over and over again. I need to examine Sakura's body. I just stood there motionless behind her while she checked Sakura's corpse. Time passed. While I stood there unable to do a thing, time just passed. And after I don't know how long, I got everyone.
What?
Ogre.
Yes.
So she's dead, huh?
I see.
Sakura been killed, I see. As soon as they arrived, Kyoko began.
Just a second.
You heard the announcement just now, right? So you know what this means. Sakura was murdered, and by someone in this very room. Is that what you were going to say?
Huh?
No. Whoever killed her. It's not just someone in this room.
Your fault!
It's one of you. Hiro, Byakuya, Toko, one of you killed Sakura. You're accusing us before we even begun the investigation? I don't need to investigate anything, because you hated her, you hated the sight of her. One of you did it, I know it. You know it? Jeez, I didn't know your power level would increase by that much just by getting mad. What are you doing here? Isn't it obvious I'm here to hand out my little murder flyer? That's right, the next... Okay. And don't get so mad, Miss Ashina, or you're gonna ruin that lewd little face of yours. Now then, with that there's something I want to ask you. It was you, wasn't it? You killed Sakura. Say what? Sakura wanted to challenge the mastermind to a duel. Maybe you and her fought again. And then I killed her? Sorry, not quite. Actually, not even close. That whole thing is totally irrelevant now. Sakura came to a most regrettable end without even get a chance to finish things with me. Which, thank God for that, it saved me the trouble of having to go through without our little fight. Cause even for someone like me, I wouldn't be no mean feat to take down a behemoth like that. Mammut ist es, ne? I gotta tell ya, I was actually pretty worried. I mean, she violated a rule by attacking me in the first place, but I wasn't able to punish her. So I don't know who it was, but whoever the black ant is this time, I owe you one. You owe them one? Oopsie, before you get all pissy potty at me, you better figure out who did it first. Cause I mean, your lives are all on the line, right?
What is this?
What the hell? He owes them one.
Forgive you.
Well, for one, I'm glad it was Sakura. She was working for the headmaster, the mastermind after all. How can you say that now? Sorry, I don't have time for your scrabbling. The next game has already begun. If you want to be angry at someone, be angry at whoever killed Sakura.
Anyway,
Right now, our top priority needs to be uncovering Sakura's killer. If we can't do that, we're all dead. Then let's decide who will stand guard this time. I will do it. Hina? I'm okay. Just let me handle it. Besides, I want to be here with Sakura. Oh, das ist mega traurig. Okay, then Hina is guard number 1, but we need one more. Kyoko, that's you.
what?
Me? You're always a thorn in my side. This time just stand by and watch quietly. Consider that an order. An order?
That's fine.
Fine, I'll stand behind. Then it's settled. Let's begin, shall we? Hold on. Before that, there's something I want to say. Which is, Hiro, Byakuya, Toko, none of you are allowed to step foot in the crime scene. What?
It's your fault.
One of you killed Sakura. Ich verdächtige auch trotzdem Aoi. Weil das vielleicht der Plan... Weil Sakura wollte umgebracht werden. I won't let someone like that come anywhere near here. Don't be stupid, our lives are just as much danger as yours. We have every right to investigate. I don't care what you say, I'm not letting the one who killed Sakura near her. Even if it means I have to use force, you're not getting in here. Well, it appears further discussion would be a waste of time. How about a compromise? I won't ask you to tell all of us in, just let me... What? You don't really care, do you? You're both useless anyway. Nope, don't really care. I would rather spend my time coming up with another splendid fantasy involving Master anyway. And you, Hiro, do you really object? If you're gonna got that far, what can I say? I mean, I don't have anything to hide, so why should I care? Then it's decided. Nothing's decided. I know how you feel, Hina, but you should agree to this request. But
Hey,
we have to find out who killed Sakura, for those of us still alive, and to honor Sakura's memory. Fine, I guess that's okay. But no matter what, Byakuya, you absolutely aren't allowed to touch her. Naturally. Who would want to touch a filthy dead body?
listen.
That's enough fighting. We need to focus on the investigation from here on out. Everyone keeps this in mind. If we can't uncover Sakura's killer, we all face execution. Finding out who killed Sakura, it's not a matter of hoping we can do it. If we want to survive, we have to do it. It's a kind of hopeless hope. Okay. Ich würde gerne kurz anfangen.
Hallo, Carsten hier aus der Zukunft. Ich bin gerade die Folge am Schneiden und es tut mir echt mega leid. Die restlichen 30 Minuten werde ich echt mega durch das Game durchrushen, sehr viel skippen und die Beweise primär einfach nur wirklich scannen, in dem Sinne, okay, da ist irgendwas, das war's und es tut mir echt mega leid. Deswegen, ich werde mir was überlegen, was ich nächste Folge machen werde, gegebenenfalls eine kleine Zusammenfassung. Ich habe auch überlegt, soll ich den Part nochmal neu aufnehmen, aber ich habe gedacht, ich lasse es mal drin. Ich werde mir auf jeden Fall was überlegen, es tut mir sehr, sehr leid. Ich hoffe, ihr könnt trotzdem noch die nächste halbe Stunde genießen. Und ihr könnt ja auch mal überlegen, ob ihr wisst, wer der Mörder ist. In diesem Sinne, geht es weiter und sorry auf jeden Fall.
Better check the Monokuma before anything else. The victim was Sakura Ogami. The time of death is estimated to be around 12 noon. The body was discovered in the rec room on the 3rd floor of the school. There is evidence of a strong blow to the victim's head. No other injuries were noted. However, it seems that at some point the victim suffered from violent vomiting of blood.
Hey,
I think the case this time might be a challenge. Why is that?
so...
The only way into the rec room is the door we just came through. And that door had been jammed shut with a chair from inside the rec room, which means the killer would have had to escape somehow after barring the door. So if the door was blocked from the inside and there was no way in or out till we broke the window, there's like zero escape, right? In other words, this is a classic locked room murder. I guess you might see this kind of thing a lot in mystery movies or books or whatever, but could it really happen in real life and right before our very eyes like this? Are you curious to hear more about what a locked room murder entails? Sure, if you don't mind. When you break down this kind of murder mystery, there are 4 basic types. The locked room is created after the actual crime is committed. Okay. This simply means that the killer commits his crime, then through some special method seals the door. This mainly involves some sort of trick involving the locking of the room. Basic approaches include using a string or a simple mechanism. There are a number of variants. So for that, we would all have to do is check the door to see if I was right. The second type is when the locked room already exists before the crime is committed. Oh.
In other words,
Basically, the killer uses a special suggestion of tool from outside to target the victim inside. You press a switch and it fires a handgun. You shoot an arrow through a gap in the door or something like that.
However,
But in this case it doesn't seem to fit. There are no guns or arrows in the school and the door doesn't have any gap that allowed to it. I can probably cross that off the
it's
list.
true.
Type is the killer stays in the room until it's opened up. What do you mean
In
by
other
that?
words,
They stay hidden in when the door is open. They use the confusion to blend with the group. They pretended they showed up along with everyone else, and that's that. That sounds like it could have been possible maybe.
true.
And then the fourth and final type is when it wasn't actually a locked room at all.
in other words,
By that mean there actually is an alternate escape route somewhere within the room. You see, this is a lot in novels and things, but in reality it's generally not possible. Do you think we can cross that in one of two? I believe so, yes. So when it comes to locked room mysteries, those are the basics. So three are four possibilities. So there are 3 possibilities. Then Kyoko, which of our students seems to be most likely in this
It's
case?
true.
That's a good question. Answering that should be in our primary focus during this trial. But right now I can't really say. I see. The way the killer set up the locked room. Until I figure that out, the truth behind Sakura's death will stay hidden. It's definitely a tough mystery. I need to concentrate and investigate as much as I can for Sakura, if only else. There's some kind of plastic container rolling around near the entrance of the room. It's
so
like a protein drink, it's empty. Sakura must have drank it. Everyone knows how much she loved her protein, and she meant more than once how protein was good for all sorts of alignments. I wouldn't take that to heart if I were you, I know. But still, this protein can. Galerian on Chem A2.
just a sec.
What's
Hey.
strange, you see what scratch account? What's scattered around the can? They must have parts of the window broke inside.
Correct.
But they aren't just scattered around, as they are also underneath it. Why does that matter?
So,
I can't say for sure yet, but you're probably going to want to take note of it. Empty protein drink. Und die sind auf den Scherben. Doors on a way out. Doesn't have to lock. There's no evidence that them traveled with. The only notable change to the door is the smashed window, which happened, of course, when I broke into the room. There's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the door. In other words, I don't see anything suspicious about the door itself. The chair was shoved up against the doorknob, so we couldn't get the door open. There's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the chair. In other words, there's no reason to think the chair had anything special done to it. Having examined both the door and the chair, there's no doubt the reason the door didn't open was simply because the chair was shoved against it. This keeps the doorknob from turning and the door from opening. And there was no evidence of the door or chair being tampered with or anything like that. So the killer must have created the locked room from the inside, not from the outside. This looks like some kind of wrapper. Do you recognize it? Well, yeah, I mean, I gave it to her. That's a candy wrapper. Sakura got super upset when she found out Genocide Jake had attacked me, right? So after we left the nurse office, I gave it to her. I thought it might help her calm down a little. So he gave the candy to Sakura. I found a big box of it in the warehouse. I really like it. Actually, as soon as we could get into the warehouse, I took the entire box back to my room. I made sure nobody else could get their hands on them. Do you like them that much?
I mean,
But I wanted Sakura to get a chance to try one for herself. That's why I gave it to her, but now they've lost all their flavor. There are shards of glass scattered all around this chair Sakura was sitting on. The glass is all red, and there are top and bottom sections of bottle, right? So it must have originally been a bottle. There's something else on the ground near the glass. It's a figure, it fits the palm of my hand. An Akuma figure. Sakura drew her last breath, sitting plump forwards in her chair. There's obvious evidence of the blow to the head Sakura suffered. Normally they wouldn't have any problem believing that it's killed her, but according to the wound, also vomited blood. Can see trace of blood on her lips, so what of course did vomit blood? The Monokuma file especially said she hadn't suffered in any other injuries. Maybe her getting hit on the head somehow caused her to start vomiting blood. Not a chance.
That's fine.
However, your eyes have landed on most interesting location. Interesting?
Naturally.
Yes, most interesting, don't you agree? No, I don't think I call it interesting. But it doesn't make me wonder. The reason Sakura vomited blood absolutely has to be connected to why she died. There are 4 red bottles lined up on the shelf. And inside each bottle there's some kind of Monokuma figure. Wondering...
So...
It's no different from your standard chip in a bottle. Huh? You know where the bottle is open and is smaller than the bottle placed inside? Never seen that? Okay.
In other words...
Monokuma bottle. I feel like I'm finally starting to make sense of things little by little. Da fehlt die Königin. The Monokuma was sitting on the shelf. The Monokuma found on the ground. The red shards of glass, which probably started out as a bottle, which would mean Sakura must have been hit in the head with Monokuma bottle, right? The shards of glass in Monokuma's figures are evidence of that. So I think it's safe to say that the Monokuma bottle was the weapon. There's a bloodstain in front of the magazine itself. Must have come from Sakura, right? But that doesn't make sense. Why is it so far from where she died? It's around 1 o'clock right now. According to my computer, died around 12 noon, so roughly an hour ago. Was that when Kyoko and I were moving Alter Ego? Okay, das sind erstmal so die ersten Hinweise, die ich gesammelt habe. Oh, the locker's from the inside. It's a handprint. What's the handprint doing there? Looks like someone touched the inside of the locker and it left a handprint in all over the dust. And it looks quite fresh too. Say someone was hiding here in the locker and left behind a little something extra, so then hidden there until the locker room was open, don't you think?
Wrong.
Unfortunately, that's not a possibility. Why not?
Hey,
Think back. Before we opened the door, we looked inside the room, right? Oh yeah, the locker was already open at that point.
indeed.
So there's no way someone could have hidden in there until after we opened the door. So then, what does this handprint mean?
What?
What do you want? You're bothering me, go away. We already know who did it. Byakuya, Toko, or Hito. It had to be one of them. They couldn't stand the sight of her. You agree with me, don't you, Makomo? Then let me help you find out more. You see, Sakura asked all 3 of them to meet with her. You know where? Right here in the rec room. What? After I went to the nurse office this morning, Sakura and I both left together, right? Well, eventually she went off on her own, but when I saw her again after that, she told me she said she'd be left a note for each of them. She asked them to meet her in the rec room by noon. By noon, the Monokuma said she would die right around then. I'm telling you the truth, I heard it right from Sakura herself, and I tried to stop her. But she wouldn't listen. She said not to worry, that she just wanted to talk to them. And this is what happened. If we would stop her by force, even this would never happened. It's impossible not to have regrets, I know. And she asked them to come to the rec room at noon. The same time and place she ended up dying. It might be good to confirm what I just heard with the 3 of them directly.
However,
But for Sakura to have been killed, she's not the type who'd go down without a
it's
fight.
true.
And she certainly didn't, I would say. She was the ultimate martial arts, strong in body, mind and spirit. So how was the killer able to get the upper hand on her? I wonder, did someone get the upper hand? They must have taken her by surprise,
Certainly.
right? Certainly, they would have needed to if they expected to stand a chance against her.
What?
What do you want? You're bothering me. There's something I'd like to talk to you about. Made it quick. Is it true that Sakura asked you to meet in the rec room? So you found out. Interesting. Then it's true? I did receive a note to that effect, yes. But what fool would do what it said and risk being killed by that monster? So I didn't go to see her? Of course not. I ripped the note to shreds and threw it away. I haven't seen Sakura all day. Baikuro says he didn't go see her. Is that true? Okay.
Come on.
If you're all finished, please remove yourself from my sight.
Listen.
Well, Makoto, have you finished with your general investigation? Yeah, I think so for the most
So
part.
then-
Then you should probably go to talk with people now. I'm on guard duty, so I can't leave, which is why I decided you will go in my place. She got a lot more pushy since we had our issue. But she's right, I have to go to talk to the others. Sakura wanted to meet with two other people. I need to hear what they have to say. Oh, extra lange Folge. This door is the only way in our art. There's another lock, and there's no evidence that the mountings have been tampered with. Okay. In other words, I don't see anything suspicious about you yourself. Okay. Leave the area, ja. Warten die hier draußen? Those other two probably went back to their rooms. Okay, einerseits werde ich kurz mit denen reden. Nein, da wollte ich nicht rein. Da wollte ich rein. Sag mal, jetzt hier. You press the doorbell. After a few seconds. Oh, who's there? The most negative aura I've ever felt. An aura of total decay. Well, what do you
So
want?
you're back to normal. Genocide Jack isn't around anymore.
Don't-
even say her name. I was in such a good mood.
She didn't look like she was a good mood
I
here.
was hoping to talk to you about something. Is now a bad time?
Obviously annoyed, Toko slithered out into the main hall.
What do you want?
You said you wanted to talk about something. Yes, I wanted to talk about the fact that Sakura had asked to meet with you. I don't know what you're talking about. Bakura already told me she had asked to meet with... What? She wanted to meet with Master 2? Ah, I just said 2, didn't I? I guess now it's totally obvious, huh? Yeah, pretty much. So, can you tell me about it? I did get the note, but I didn't go see her. I was so scared, so I couldn't bring myself to go. Toko claims she didn't go to see her, but can you really believe her? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as fact. Is that good enough? Then I will back to my room. With that, Toko quickly retreated into her room. Byakuya ist der Fuzzi hier. Nicht, der Hiro.
You know?
What's up, Makoto? Do you need something? Yeah, actually, I wanted to check something. It's about how Sakura wanted to meet with you. How do you know about that? Did you maybe gaze into my soul? Have your special abilities awakened in you? But I'm not the only one who she wanted to meet with. Olga told me herself that she asked Byakuya and Toko to come too. When did she tell that? Well, when she asked me to meet her with her, of course. But didn't she write you a note? Yeah, a note. She gave it to me in person, and she happened to mention the others, like in passing. It gotta be honest, this is super suspicious. So then you went and met with Sakura? No way, I totally didn't. Why would I ever do that? Yeah, definitely suspicious.
Actually,
The last time I saw Olga was when Hina got hurt and took her to the nurse office. I haven't seen her since then. While I'm here, could you show me the note she gave you? Do I have it? Yes. Sorry, it looks like I don't have it anymore. With a big, goofy smile on his face, he pulled his hands back out of his pocket. But when he did, I saw something flutter to the ground. Something had fallen out of... Quickly as the wind, Hiro snatched it back up again and shoved it back into his pocket. Sorry, just a bit of trash, I forgot to throw it out. Anyway, I can't deny that Ogre asked to meet with me, but I never went. So if he's... Waiting for a reply, Hiro quickly slipped back into his room. Hiro said that was just trash, but there's no way that's all 3 was it. Es ist die gleiche... What next? I will have a look at the actual crime scene again, but on top of that, maybe I'll find out protein can we found on the floor. I'm sure it must come from the Chem Lab. Da wollte ich sowieso jetzt noch hin. Und dann bin ich auch mal weiter. Und dann will ich die Folge beenden. Ich hoffe, der Speicher passt noch so gerade. Ich habe wieder viel zu viel aufgenommen. Ja, hier auf der Etage. Makoto, do you have your eye on the Chem Lab too? Just make sure you don't get in my way. Yeah, I got it. I think what you meant to say was yes, sir, I understand. This is my first time seeing the shelf, but I just can't how big it is. It looks like 3 shelves have been connected together to make one giant shelf. But more important right now, what's that powder that's been spilled off in front of the shelf? I have to be careful not to step on it. There's a broken bottle in front of the shelf. Is this where all the powder came from? Let's look at the bottle label on it. Would you like to hear something interesting? I was on the 4th floor this morning checking things out, and at that point this room wasn't like this. Then the powder must have been spilled.
In other words,
It could only have been around the time of the accident. If that really is when it happened, must be related to the case somehow. This looked like a bunch of chemicals of the new. They're reagents. Put simply, they are used in experiments to bring about a chemical reaction. How have you lived in such ignorance for so long? Truly be bliss. Isn't it kind of harsh? What you think studying science and mathematics has no particular applicants in the real world? The other words of a lifelong loser, which I suppose suits you well. I don't even say okay. All the content on the shelf are labeled with the letter B and a number, so I guess I can consider this part of the shelving until section B. Okay. Ja, und das ist halt A. But wait. One bottle labeled Chem C. Could someone have put it here on accident? How can I see? So I guess I consider this part of the shelving. I should try find out more about this shelving unit. Looks like it's split into 3 sections. Section A has supplements, section B has reagents, and section C has lethal chemicals. So I must have gotten the protein powder from section A. But what concerns is that in section A there was a bottle with a label from section C. What was a bottle of poison section doing in section A? There's definitely something going on there. Footprints, okay. What an insufferable smurry. He had a piece of paper and pen. Let's go, chop chop. So I got to work before I know the sketch of the room. And so how is this? Not bad for me. So when I look at it less interesting, it would appear that whoever left these footprints only had business at the leftmost shelf. Oder war ganz rechts, das ist runtergefallen und es musste dann noch nach links. They came in, went in straight to that shelf, didn't... Okay, alles klar.
I see.
These footprints must be... Makoto, are those yours? No. Okay then, let me see your shoes and I will confirm their size for myself. I can think for a reason not to. So I kindly did what Ryoko said. I see your feet do appear to be too big. Unfortunately, I must admit, these are not your footprints. Unfortunately, but with how clear these prints are, it should be quite easy to determine who they do belong to. Okay. A bunch of yellow powder scattered on the floor. I better not leave a front print. Okay. Ja, das wissen wir alles schon. Okay, nochmal in den Rec Room. Und dann... Er hat schon den Hinweis gegeben, nochmal in den Rec Room zu gehen. So, da ist der Rec Room, ja.
Hey,
So, Makoto, how's your investigation going? I told Kyoko what Toko and Hiro had told me.
see.
I see, so along with Byakoi, they are both claiming they didn't go see her. But it's all too convenient. Someone must be lying. Someone lying.
Anyway,
Well, I've made some progress of my own. Sakura's body is a shelf, magazines and the Mokuno's bottles. These things have revealed new clues. We'd do well to look them over one more time. Kyoko said the magazine shelf was hiding a clue of some kind. This thing's upside down. Did someone put it back on the
Hey.
incident? If someone catches your eye, it's important for you to explore that in detail, don't you think? I picked up the inverted magazine and flipped through it. This is... One of the pages near the center of the magazine, a word had been written in bloody letters, and it said Toko. Could this be a dying message? Then it would appear you found it. Kyoko is...
so,
It is indeed the dying message someone used for the finger to write it.
however,
But just to be clear, I'm not the one who put it back upside down. It was already like that when I found it a little while ago. I made sure to put it back exactly as I found it for the benefit of others who might come looking. Hey, is that... It says Toko, right? Yeah, it looks like. Then she's the killer, right? Well, it hasn't confirmed yet. It settled it. Killer for sure. That conclusive evidence, right? We can use it to corner the killer. I can see why I would think that way, but it just seems too easy. If anything, it makes me that more suspicious. Okay, ich habe eine Vermutung. Ich möchte aber noch mal ein bisschen drüber nachdenken. Ja, dass die Queen missing ist.
hey,
Between all the bottles, pay careful attention. You're not sure to find it. Correlation. Can you just tell me what it is?
so,
I don't mind you towards clues, but giving you my conclusion isn't a good idea. Each person needs to come to their own conclusion so that everyone can have confidence in the outcome. Okay.
hey,
Actually, there's one other thing about the Komuna bottles that bother me, like to experiment to confirm it. You don't mind helping me, right? An experiment?
anyway. That doesn't matter.
I already done throat investing, so it's fine.
So then,
I really don't know what this is about, but what choice do I have? I'll just do it. I took the broom and dustpan, got to work collecting all the broken bottle pieces. And just as I finished up, sorry to keep you waiting.
so then,
Is everything ready? Then let's go to work. So what kind of are we
in
doing?
other words,
I got a scale from the Chem lab. We're going to use it to compare weights. Compare weights of what? Pieces of glass you collected and the one on the Monokuma bottle that's still intact. Why do you want to do that? That's the point of the experiment.
listen,
First, let's compare the weight of two of the normal Monokuma bottles. It's
In
balanced,
other
which
words-
means each Monokuma weighs about the same. Which makes sense. The Monokuma figures inside are basically the same, and nothing else could really affect the
So
weight. Here comes the important part. Put all the pieces you picked up on the side of the scale.
so then,
Let's give it a try. The broken pieces are heavier. How's that possible?
I knew it.
Just as I thought, what?
In other words,
The results are a correlation between each of the bottles.
hey,
Put it all together, and I believe you will arrive at very own conclusion. Okay, und dann war noch... There's a bloodstain, ja, ja.
true.
Oh, that's totally normal. Then how can you imagine it's because you have plenty of opportunities to touch dead bodies in the past? Sorry, never mind.
Hey,
More importantly, look here. Her shoes.
correct.
You see that yellow powder on her instep? Yeah, really stands out.
I see.
That powder is clue number 1.
Hey,
Next time is the wounded to her head. Is the one to her head. Look
It's
careful.
true.
Actually, even telling you that it's incredibly difficult to spot. So let me just explain.
would seem
It would appear that she didn't suffer a single blow, but instead received 2 blows to the head.
indeed.
Interesting, wouldn't you say? There's one more interesting
Correct.
thing. Both of her hands were spotless. There's absolutely no trace of blood on
It's
either
true.
one. So that's what I learned from examining her body in the detail. I can't believe she was able to learn all that just by looking at the body. I don't think anyone but Kyoko could have pulled that off. Bis dahin wollte ich echt noch machen.
Whoops! You caught me sleeping. Your investigation was just so boring I couldn't stay awake. Should I do it? Is it okay? Can I? Okay, then let's begin the class trial. You know where to meet, right? Please go through the red...
Okay, ich wollte noch bis dahin machen. Oh, scheiße, wenn ich jetzt speichere, dann, ist alles noch da. Okay. Wir sind jetzt in der Episode. Und ich versuche mal zu überlegen, wer der Mörder ist. Bis dann. Ciao.